Hello my dear friends, welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to learn how to configure SQL Azure. SQL Azure is a web version, or it's a cloud-based database that can be accessible anywhere throughout the world, and you will be able to design and develop the databases directly on the web, which will always be available to you. So let's see that how we will be able to create a server, resources, and all these kind of stuff. So first of all, I will go to my web browser. Now remember one thing, that if you want to work with this concept of your SQL Azure, so you need an Azure account. Because unless you don't have an Azure account, you won't be able to access the portal.azure, right? So I will go to the address bar and I'm going to type portal.azure.com. So when you will go to this portal.azure.com, it will ask for your account. So I do have my account on this portal, so I'm going to enter my account as ganesh.mishra@outlook.com, and I need to enter the password also. So I'm going to enter the password, and then I will say sign in. Alright, so welcome to the world of web server, or we can say that SQL Azure, the cloud database version. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this stuff. So let's see that how we will be able to create a resource, a server, a database, and how we will be able to use them for developing our report. So for this, what I am going to do is I will go to this new button. Now this new button will open the marketplace for me, where I will be able to select the required things which we needed for this development purpose. Okay. So for example, I want to create a logical server of SQL Server. Okay. I want to create a SQL Server logical server. We are going to create. So for example, you can see I have. You can either access it from here by going to the database, and you will be able to access from here, like database, and data warehouse, and data pools. Or another way is go to this area, and here you will find the SQL servers. So I'm going to create one SQL server first, a server that will help me to store the data, and I'm going to use that data for my program development, project development, or Power BI report development. So I click on the SQL servers. So right now I don't have any server over here, so I need to add one. So I will click on create SQL servers. Now I need to enter my server name, so I'm going to give the server name as test server. This is going to be a test server. I think this name has already been taken. So let me take it as a G server. Yeah, you can see it is accepted. As you can see the check mark, it means it is accepted. Okay, and you can see we have .database.windows.net over here. This .database.windows.net, whenever you are going to use your SQL Azure, SQL Cloud server for the project and program development, you need to follow this complete address for this complete server name. So I'm going to enter the username first. Okay, we'll deal with the username, and in this username I'm going to enter student, and password I'm going to take $PA$W0RD. I'm just making it simple. Again, $PA$W0RD. Then you need to select the subscription. I have already MSDN platform subscription with me. The next important part is resource. So what is a resource? See, a resource group is a collection of resources that share the same life cycle, permission and policies. So I'm going to create a new resource and let me give it name as in say G resource. Location, I'm selecting Central India, even though we have multiple options, but I'm selecting Central India. And then I will say, and then I don't forget to relate to dashboard, and I will say create. So once the creation request has been given, it will first validate the credentials and the information, and then will start installing the information. So you can say deployment is in progress. So just wait for the deployment, then we will move further. So as soon as the deployment has been complete, it will show you can see the notification. The deployment of Microsoft SQL Server to resource group G resource was successful. Go to resource or pin to dashboard. I have already pinned it to dashboard, so I don't have any problem at all. Now, what's my next step? My next step is to make this server accessible. To make this server accessible, first I need to do some firewall settings. So for firewall settings, what I will do, I will go to the firewall and virtual networks. So I'm going to click on it. And as you can see, it is showing me a client IP address, which is very much required when you are going to use this server or this online SQL Azure server, this logical server. So I already have my client IP address. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this. So I will click on add client IP, and the IP has been successfully stored or successfully added. After this step, we'll click on save. So it's updating the server firewall rules, and yes, we are good to go now. As you can see, they have successfully updated the server, and it is giving me a message box that shows me successfully updated server firewall rules. Just click OK. So our first step has been completed. Okay. Now if I will take you to the dashboard, or just click on this Azure area, and you can see in my dashboard it is showing me G server, which is already available, which is available now. So it means my server has been created, but a server is of no use unless I don't have the database. So what's my next step? Yes, the next step is to create a database. So for creating the database, again I will go to either new, or you can get it from here also, but I prefer, as you can see, I do have SQL databases. So I'm going to click on this SQL databases. So as you can see, right now I don't have any database, so of course I need a database. So I will click on create SQL database and click on it. And it will open the database area for me. So first it is asking for the name of the database. So I'm going to give its name as WorkMP. It has to be a SQL platform. I'm going to use the G resource. Then we'll go to the select source. Now see, actually we have three options over here. Either I can create a blank database, or I can use a sample database, or I can use a backup also. Means if I do have a backup file with me, so I will be able to store that backup file over here. So for performing this task, I'm going to click on the sample database, that is AdventureWorks LT. So I have just clicked on it. Server is same. Then we also have a concept known as SQL Elastic Pool. So see what it is. Elastic pools provide a simple and cost-effective solution for managing the performance of multiple databases within a fixed budget. So I think this basic introduction is required, or it is okay with you guys. Then go to pricing tier and click on this pricing tier. So as you can see, it is showing me different prices tiers, like we have the basic, we have the standard, we have the premium, and of course we have the premium RS. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to make it little bit feasible for me. So I have selected this 1134 INR. Actually, I do have credit, which I generally get from Microsoft, as I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. So Microsoft every month gives me a credit of 6,000 INR so that I can create out my servers, my databases, my virtual machines. Okay. So I'm going to select this and then I will say apply. So you can see that it is showing me standard is 0, 10 BTU and 250 GB has been applied. Now after doing this, I'm going to click on pin to dashboard and then I will say create. So as you can see, the process is started. Okay. And now the deployment process for my database has been started. So just wait for a while so that it will be deployed. So my deployment has been completed, and see, you can see a notification also, deployment succeeded. So Microsoft.SQL database, .new database, existing server underscore some information is there. So resource group G resource was successfully done. So again, you can either go to the resource or you can pin it to the dashboard. As I have shown you at the time of creation, I have already set my pin it to the dashboard. Now this is the server name which I am going to access whenever I am going to use this server name for my data retrieval or data accessibility. So what's next step then? Once I have performed this task, and then I will go to the dashboard area. For example, I am just clicking on Microsoft Azure, and if you will see, it is showing me that your database is online. It means we are perfectly good to go. So once I have done this, now let me do one thing. Let me try to connect it with Power BI. So I'm going to minimize it and I will click on this Power BI icon and my Power BI started. So as you can see that my Power BI is open. So now I will go to Get Data. We'll go to More. Then I will select the Azure and then Azure SQL database. So I'm going to click on it and I will click connect. So here I need to enter the server. So I have already shown you the server name. So it's gserver.database.windows.net and click OK. Well, sometimes it asks for the password, okay, sometimes it doesn't, because if we are going to deal with, like suppose if it asks for the password or something, then of course we will be able to provide some credentials to them. Okay, so I have my database with me. Okay, so get data, more, Azure SQL database. Then you need to enter the server name. So gserver.database.windows.net and then just go for the, maybe I'm selecting another option for this so that I might be able to access the credentials page. Okay, right now it's not showing me the credentials page, but sometimes it will show you the credentials page where you need to enter ID and password. Okay, so again, get data, more, Azure SQL database, put down your Let me check this. Test.database.server.net. Okay, when you enter this gserver.database.server.net, please ignore this name. Okay, then you will find this two windows. First is your Windows. Here you need to use your Windows credentials. We need to select database over here. Here we need to enter our username, the one which I have already told you, student, and then we'll go for the password. And then I will go. Once the credentials has been provided and they are validated, then it will show you the server name and the database. So click on this button to expand it, and it will populate the list of tables which are part of this AdventureWorks LT. So for example, I'm going to take sales product category, then we'll go for some other tables. Whenever you will select one, it will show you the preview at the right side. As you can see, list price, unit price, and all these kind of stuff. And I'm going to take product category, description, and then I said go for order detail, and then customer. So we are good to go now. Just click on load. So the loading has been started and we are getting the rows now. So let this task will complete. You can see I have the list of tables available which I can use for my development purpose. So I'm just going to create a simple report for this. I'm going to use a bar chart. I'm just expanding it to this page. Then I will go to the product and we'll take maybe some numeric column like standard cost. So right now it is showing me the aggregated standard cost. But now I said, okay, I will go to the product category and then I will say name. So see, we have a list of product category names over here. So to make it more simple, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm going to filters. We'll click on name. I want to select either say basic filtering, top n. That will allow me to enter a number of records that you want to access. So either I want to access top 10 records, and then I will just follow this name and I will apply the filter. So it may contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 records. So you can see we have 10 records now. You can take your cursor to each and every record and it will show you the regulated data. There might be possible that there are few which have very few data, there are few which have the highest data. So once you have got all this, then your data will be accessible and you will be able to use them for the development purpose. And this is how you will be able to use SQL Azure for the development purpose. Okay. And then after that, what's next step? Next step is just to publish it. Click on this publish button. So this will publish to my dashboard. So I'm going to save it to the D drive, and I do have a folder with name Power BI demo. So I'm going to take a Power BI demo and I'm going to name it as a test. Only test, and I will say yes. Save it. So the process is going on. So it is asking me for the workspace. So suppose I have selected trial_WS and I said select. So report publishing has been started and it is successfully published, and then I said got it. Now if I will go to my web browser here and then I'm going to enter www.powerbi.com. I need to click on sign in button. I will give the username. So actually I have created a trial user for this. That will help me to load my data on the server. So I'm saying that test user 01 @trial login 01 dot on microsoft.com. Click next. It will ask for the password. So I'm going to enter the password also, and then I will just sign it. So as you can see, I have a workspace with name trial_ws. I'm going to expand it, and there you can see I have my test report. So this is the report which I have generated by using the SQL Azure. Now I'm going to pin it by clicking on pin visual. I'm going to create a dashboard as test dashboard, and we can pin it here. Now when you click on the go to dashboard, and then you can see that report is available on my dashboard now with all the information. So whatever information you want to check, you can check for the information. But understand one thing which is very important. This start is only read only. It means you will not be able to modify anything, right? For modifying, you need to use this report area only. So this is how you will be able to use report, or you will be able to create report by using SQL Azure. So I'm just clicking on sign out, and then I'm going to close this whole stuff. Okay, just ignore it. Okay, and just close it up, and then I'm closing the final value. So this is how you will be able to work with SQL Azure. Okay, so now please keep practicing it, and wish you good luck for this, and thanks a lot for watching this video.